Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. This time for Trey Chaos, for his event, The Power of Knowledge. Now this is quite a jump up in difficulty from the last few, not counting Alexander for me, but most of the difficulty here comes from turn count. It wants you doing this in 75 turns, which, considering what the bosses can do, is kind of a very big thing to ask for. So you really need to try to speed blitz this as fast as you can. Take in some heavy-duty DPS. I, myself, am bringing an Aranea, which hopefully serves me well. I haven't used her in a while. She's got half-decent artifacts, so that should be fine. Now, I'm not going to be too worried about breaks in this battle. Not just because Ara gets higher DPS because of breaks, but because of the boss's gimmicks, which I'm going to talk about when that boss comes up. I'll Dragoon dive here. And use another Dragon Breath with Freya. Get that speed buff maxed out, along with that attack. Because Freya needs all the attacks she can get here. I'll High Wind B. Just simply to get that Vital Crusher on it. Now Quistis has gotten actually kind of a, outside of just her EX Plus, has gotten a rework to her kit, which is really nice. So now her skill 1 battery is based off of Max Brave, I believe. Either Max Brave or Attack, I forget what it's going off of, but it batteries the team based off of that before it does its hits. And when it does actually do its hits, it guarantees an HP attack now. Because before it used to be you had to hit 80% of your Max Brave in order to have it HP attack, I believe. Whereas now it's just, no matter what, it's gonna dump Brave. Which, again, really, really helps. And I believe it gets about 2 or 3 more uses of it. So she can pretty effectively spam it. Which is also, again, very nice. Lets her keep her DPS up a lot easier. Now her EX Plus lets her start with her debuff on the enemies and her buff on herself at 2 out of 3. I believe 1 out of 3 is the generic attack and Max Brave buff. Just about everyone gets. 3 out of 3 adds a Brave battery to her EX, I believe, which is very nice. This should leave my RR with 5 each. Hopefully I can end this wave in the next couple turns. So finish in about 28 turns. Not too bad. I could probably make the 75 turn limit. That's not good. It went instantly into its red aura, which makes it so it can insta-break you. And when I say insta-break, I mean that in the sense that it guarantees them a break. Which sounds pretty cheap, and honestly, most of the people who've played the stage would agree. It's kind of cheap. Use another skill 1 with Quistis there. Freya's going to take this next break no matter what, but Aura gets a free turn here. Quistis is hitting really hard, which is really nice. I'm gonna knock B back a couple spots. Use another laser whip on A. That's fine for me. Use her skill 1, get some battery. Which also leaves the break for Aranea here. Unfortunately for Freya, she's not going to be hitting quite as hard here. I think this red aura might put up their defenses somewhat. Great, it's now yellow aura, which I think might be instant turn rate from what I've seen of it. I'm not entirely sure though. Use another skill 2 here. So that's out of its aura altogether now. Which means this should break it. and give Aura another turn. Skill 1 with Freya. Use this turn to knock him back one. Now they're going into the yellow aura. I think I'm going to be breaking them out of order here, unfortunately. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. Just gotta pump out that damage. Use her skill 2, just to make sure it's a break. I'll set overclock with her. And I'm actually going to knock A back a bit. It's going to use Duskwing. I'm thinking HP plus should break. Tack on some extra HP damage there. And here as well. That's fine enough. Break A. Use another skill 1 with Freya here. Use an HP plus with Aranea. Gonna push it back a little bit. I'll Cherry Blossom. Push B back a little bit more. I'll use Chris's C65 here. And go into Summon. And I'll bring out Trend Quistis. And mostly it's going to be a delay fest. Use ability recovery. And delay them too. I'm hoping I can finish them off. I'll set overclock. Use a high wind. Hopefully this extra turn does it for me. Did I do it? Come on. Please don't say that counts as 76th turn. I did it! Right in the nick of time, I did it! That was fantastic. Oh, that took quite a few tries for me. I think that was like my 5th try. I had to delete a lot of recordings for this. But my commentary was probably worse than normal to that just because I was trying to concentrate during the whole thing. Wow. I got through it with my baby girl Freya. Oh, that's exhilarating. I did it, peeps. I know for the TCC challenge, ONA is going to be banned, and I'm pretty sure they're probably going to feel fit to ban Eldnarsh. But I managed it. I don't think I'm going to be trying any challenge for this one. I sometimes like to do those for the others, but this is plenty difficult by itself. But either way, that was my first complete Chaos run. That was quite a doozy for that. I'm so happy I was able to do it, and that was right on the buzzer. I'm hoping the next few things aren't going to be quite as big a trouble. The next thing coming up is actually a new era. We're going to be going into a new era of weapons and not exactly difficulty quite yet, but I think there is going to be a new type of thing at this point. It's going to be called a challenge quest, which basically it's a chaos where you need to have the synergy units, which I'm kind of on as a concept because I get the idea behind it is it wants you to have a big and varied roster to use, but it's also kind of a thing where if you don't pull on that banner or have some of the characters from that banner, you're just kind of out of luck. You can't do it. With the new weapon tiers, it might be able to. You might be able to carry some lesser units sometimes because the new weapons are a good bit more powerful and add some new effects to the new characters once they get them. But it's still gonna be. It might be a bit bumpy to get into. But either way, I believe the next thing is something involving a cannon. I'm not gonna actually reveal exclusively what it is at this point, but I do believe it involves a cannon, which is gonna be a hint. But otherwise, good luck on anyone who's drawn for anyone this event. As you can see, Quistis is quite fun and she's got a big upgrade. She's a character one of the first characters I actually got the EX for, I was actually trying for stuff for. Like, I wasn't explicitly pulling for her EX when I went after her, but just for her 35 at the time. It was during a time when I couldn't complete a lot of endgame content in the game. I had almost no gems. I didn't really play the co-ops too much, so I didn't have many tickets or like crystals or anything. So it was hard for me to do the later stuff. Even like hard mode story or just like regular story was like proven to be a bit of an issue for me. And then I was throwing tickets at her banner to get her 35 and her EX popped for me, which ended up being a really big boon for me. It With the help of Quizzes, I started being able to do a lot of the content I wasn't able to before. And I was able to start properly saving my resources and doling them out towards specific banners and things. And she basically picked me up from the metaphorical mud in this game and helped me improve. So she was instant purple for me. She helped me so much in just being able to get to this point in this game. As bad as I am right now, honestly, I'm not the greatest player. But I'm really happy I got her, and even if she was the worst character ever, I'd still purple her just because of how much help she was throughout this game for me for such a long time. And I'm just really glad that she's now got a fair amount of power behind her again. She's useful in chaos, even if it's around the tail end. Either way, went into a little rant about Quistis there. I didn't get Trey. I got his 35, but I'm not really interested in him himself, despite how powerful he is, so yeah. But anyway, good luck to anyone who's pulling on either of them. I highly recommend Quistis. And from what I've heard of and seen of Trey, he's very good and will serve you well should you get him. And good luck on anyone else trying this chaos. It's a doozy. As you saw that I brought an Aranea and still barely made it. But either way, see you next time. I think I might be doing a ticket pool video again for the next thing. Which again, I'll talk about that when it comes. See you, everyone.